Okay, today we're going to make tints, and I have white on my palette, my piece of palette paper, because we're using acrylic paint. I have the color blue, and I have black. We're not going to be using the black today. We're just going to stick with the white, because tints are the lighter side of the value chart, where you're adding white to a color, and that's where you get a tint. So we're going to start by mixing our first tint. I'm going to take some white, and remember we always add a dark color to a light color, and I'm going to just take a teeny tiny amount of blue, because this is our first value from actual white, so it's going to be our lightest. And you can see that it just has a little bit of hint of blue. And I have my paper here where I have these squares where I'm going to paint inside so we can see the progression of the tints going from a lighter tint to a darker tint. I'm going to take my acrylic brush and dip it in a little bit of water. You don't want too much water, just so the paint is pliable. Get a little paint on the brush, and I'm going to paint in the square. And I'm not going to paint the whole thing in, I'm just going to show you just a little bit. Okay, so it's very light there. Now the next step, I'm going to put my brush in the water, just let it rest, is to my initial, here let me move this, we'll go like this for now. To my tint that I just made, I'm going to add just a little bit more blue. And if you feel that that's just a little bit too dark, it went too dark too quick, take a little bit white and add it to it. And this goes against the rule, but you need to do this in case, just because I added too much blue. All right, let's try that. I'm going to get my brush. I'm going to dry it off just a little bit. And I'm going to take this next value and paint in here. And look at that. You have your next value of tint. Then again, I'm going to put my brush in the water, and I want to get the next darkest tint. Take a little bit more blue. Mix it with your knife. That looks pretty good. Take the brush, dry it off, and add more. Okay, we're going to keep going till I get to just pure blue again. So get a little bit darker. Get my brush. And there we go. Nice range of value. Okay. More blue. And it's nice because you're using the same paint that you started with. You're not wasting. But you know, if you need all the different tints, then you just mix them all separately, which is not a problem. You just keep them on your palette separate and use them as needed. So here is, now see, that's similar to that one, so I'm going to take a little bit more of the blue paint and add it in, because I don't think it's dark enough. There, that looks darker. And then this last one will be just the straight blue. And you see the progression of tints, starting from light going to the original color. And that is how you make tints.